19 candidates will battle it out at the 2015 presidential election. 17 candidates representing accepted political parties and 2 independent candidates submitted their nominations this morning.
The submission of nominations ahead of the forthcoming presidential polls was held this morning under the auspices of the Elections Commissioner at the Elections Secretariat in Rajgiriya. Special security arrangements were in place in the vicinity of the Secretariat during the submission of nominations. Thereby, entry to the nominations hall was permitted only to several authorized individuals.
Excuse me. Sir, padipen lang nila board. Excuse me. Contact them. Sir, after extra pating board. Excuse me, chutak. Mr. Prasanna, board.
Another sitting area was allocated for party leaders, ministers, parliamentarians and special guests. Supporters of President Mahinda Rajapaksa gathered at a location close to the election secretariat.
Of this country is what they're looking forward in.
Another area near the Secretariat was prepared for supporters of common candidate Maithripala Sirisena. Seventeen candidates from accepted political parties and 2 independent candidates submitted nominations from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. this morning. President Mahinda Rajapaksa submitted his nomination from the UPFA ticket.
வேட்பாளர்கள் மொத்தமாக 19 வேட்பாளர்களின் 14 நாட்களுக்குள் செய்யப்பட வேண்டிய ஒன்று.
Common opposition candidate Maithripala Sirisena submitted his nomination from the New Democratic Front.
In 1972 and changed its name to Sri Lanka, and this is where he represented the political party of the
Venerable Bathramulle Silarathanathero handed over his nomination from the Janasatha Peramuna MB Thaminimulla from the Okkuma Vasio Okkuma Rajaburu organisation, while Pani Vijay Siriwardana submitted his nomination from the Socialist Equality Party. Sirathunga Jayasuriya is contesting from the United Socialist Party this time around as well. Jayantha Kulathunga will be contesting from the Lanka Mahasabha Party, and the nominee of the Sri Lanka National Front is Bimal Ginagage. Nominations were also submitted by the presidential candidate of the United People's Front Ibrahim Nishtar Muhammad Niftal, Duminda Nagamore for the Frontline Socialist Party, ASP Lianage from the Sri Lanka Labour Party and Sundaram Mahendran from the New Samasamaja Party. Prasanna Katugampala submitted his nomination from the Democratic National Movement, while Ajit Namal Rajapaksa will contest from Ape Jatika Peramuna or Our National Front. Sarath Manamendra is the presidential candidate from the Navasiyala Uramaya, and Nuwan Tilaka Pedurarachi will be contesting from the Lanka People's Party. I.M. Ilyas and Anbrudha Polgampola will be contesting the presidential polls as independent candidates. Following the submission of nominations, Elections Commissioner Mahinda Deshapriya allocated a time frame for filing objections. Subsequently, 2 objections were filed against the candidacy of President Mahinda Rajapaksa and the candidacy of Maithripala Sirisena. The Commissioner quashed the objections. The Elections Commissioner then announced that 19 candidates will be contesting the January 2015 presidential polls.
We
can conduct the elections peacefully if the cordiality that exists among the national level politicians and leaders is observed and adhered to by grassroots level campaigners. I would like to request from all campaigners to act according to advice put forth by your party leaders and adhere to the laws and regulations of the country and give room for others' views. We have had universal enfranchisement since 1931. In all of Asia and Australia, it is only New Zealand that had universal franchise before we did. Therefore, I kindly request everyone to act in line with the advice of their leaders. We know that no leader will willingly make their people resort to violence.
Candidates would seen exchanging wishes and greetings with each other following the submission of nominations.
විශේෂයෙන්ම අපේ රටේ මැතිවරණ ඉතිහාසයේ මේ රටේ
A warm welcome was rendered by several supporters when President Mahinda Rajapaksa exited the premises of the election secretariat. The President then revealed that UMP General Secretary Tissa Athanayake had crossed over to the government.
Today, our party's secretary or former secretary is contesting from their side, and today, their secretary is with us. Do not underestimate us. When we lose a secretary, we get one back. It is no big deal. So they will continue to go, but our doors are open. We still say that you could cross over to this side. Now it has started again. Therefore, I request you all to join hands with us. Pledge your support to us.
Common opposition candidate Maithripala Sirisena also met with his supporters subsequent to the handing over of nominations. The Mahasangha blessed Maithripala Sirisena and thereafter he addressed the group of supporters.
I would like to clearly state that I will permanently defeat the government which brought evil to the country by depriving its citizens' rights and destroying their future. We have formed an alliance to bring forth a new government entirely focused on freedom and democracy. In the last 10 days, this country witnessed a sudden turn of events. The anti-government sentiments of the citizens were exposed. This had led to the downfall of not only President Mahinda Rajapaksa's government, his campaigning has weakened and shattered to several pieces. Campaigning activities within temple trees has come into complete standstill. The election mechanism of officers in AC rooms at the temple trees is no more. In fact, the temple trees is today the site of a total election catastrophe.
The presidential election will be held on the 8th of January.